about toxic family members, how to identify toxic family members, their traits, and I feel like we've really exhausted all of this. And I think it's really easy for us to identify something, but we rarely provide a solution for all of this. Even if you get on like your social media right now, and maybe we'll be talking about narcissism, all you're going to see is signs of a narcissist. Signs, 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 signs. How to know somebody is this. How to look into their eyes and know. You know, there are always the signs. We're always talking about how to identify these toxic people in our lives, but we never take a second to think, okay,
and then
now
what?
I know, you know, what happens, who this person is, but how do I deal with this? And we're in the festive season, so you get to meet with those relatives you always avoid, those aunties who are always in your business, those toxic uncles. Sometimes it's even you're the toxic one, because why are you the victim? Why are you always, you know, getting the brunt of all this frustration, all this toxicity? But one of the things that I've actually realized when dealing with toxic family members is to learn their tactics. Because when you realize that this is something they do, when they show you a pattern, you know, they'll always start something out of nothing. They'll always try to trigger you about something. They'll always try to comment about something they know you're insecure about. When you realize that this is something they do, I think you're able to rise above. You're able to say, yeah, I realize this is something you do. It's not about me, it's a you thing. You're very quick to pinpoint other people's weaknesses, and just for your own joy, for your own pleasure, to just sit back and see other people be uncomfortable and fight and just be chaotic. So learn their tactics so that you have the upper hand.
And in that case, after you've learned their tactics, after you've learned what they do exactly, the triggers that they have, the things, the ammunition that they have over you and over others, just choose not to engage. A lot of storms start with a small little soup. One small little soup, and then more stuff comes along, and then it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. My point is, negative energy is the same way. Once someone has come with the negativity to you, they've said something mean, something distasteful, something crass, sometimes outrightly they've said something heinous. What do? Usually you want to defend yourself. You immediately go on the defense. You're like, yo, but you're like this, but like you're like this, but like what? No one really cares. The more you fuel that energy, the more they want to do it to you. So whenever someone comes at you and they're really just trying to spew their negativity at you, just like, okay, cool, leave it. Don't engage. You will find how quickly they actually deviate from it, because obviously you are no longer impenetrable to their negativity, and therefore they'll just leave you alone.
And also boundaries, learning to draw your boundaries. I actually saw a video, I think it was the day before yesterday, of where this young man is talking to his mother, and he's talking about the issue of boundaries, and she's very quick to say, you children, or you people of this generation, these boundaries are just a way of you being selfish. Boundaries are selfish. Your mother cares about you, your family cares about you. So when you bring up this topic of boundary, it's just from a very selfish point of view. And I actually, you know, put myself in her shoes for a minute, and I realized they were raised in a different generation where, you know, everyone was in everyone's business, and that was normal. So when your son is now acting brand new, you're like, oh, what a selfish little kid, you know. So I did understand that. But at the same time, there's also the need to draw boundaries. I saw a Reddit story of where a man was going for his honeymoon with his fiance, with his now, you know, wife. And during the wedding, towards the end of the evening, the mother comes to the couple and says, can I come with you to your honeymoon? And the son says, no, absolutely not. This is time for me and my wife, so absolutely not. And they think, oh, that's okay. That's a boundary that's been established. They go to their honeymoon, a country away, and their mother shows up the next day at their hotel room. And they're like, why would you come here? We clearly said we do not want you here. This is our honeymoon. That was a boundary you crossed. We feel very violated. And she had a tantrum. So that's very toxic, because why would you show up to your son's honeymoon? It's giving, I don't want to go into it, but that's just it. Establish boundaries very clearly, so that when you finally start doing it, when you finally say no, it means no. And they don't think, they're just having a tantrum. I can just do what I want and get away with it. So be clear on your boundaries.
Also, just say no to the talking. A lot of times you tend to have, whenever someone gives you the chance to actually vent, because this person has been truly atrocious to you, they've been horrible to you. And when you get a chance to actually, you find a group of people talking about this person, you want to be in the mix, you want to chime in and explain all of the things that they've done to you. And I do this a lot. You just want to vent and vent and vent and vent and vent. But ultimately, always remember one of two things. You're not doing any good for yourself. You constantly dredging up that stuff is basically you charging yourself again and putting yourself in a situation where you're amping yourself for battle again. Number two, if word gets back to them that you've been talking smack about them, guess what? They're back at you again. What are you going to do? You've already not engaged with them. You've already drawn your boundaries in the sand. You've already done all these other things preemptively. But then you've put yourself right back in the mess, right back in the thick of it. They're not going to come at anyone else. They're going to come at you because they don't like you. So you're the problem. You will be their target. You will be the person who they then execute in the name of, y'all were talking about me, but you're the one they'll pick out. So just try not to talk about it. Whenever people are talking about it, just distance yourself. You know, you can listen if you want to. I wouldn't advise it because whenever you listen, guess what? Your mouth start running. So you just need to be aware. Just find something else to do. Climb a tree.
Yeah.
Climb a tree. Touch grass.
And bottom line is, remember, it's not about you. It's not
Never.
a you thing. Because they're doing things to trigger your insecurity, to make you feel unworthy, to just make you feel less than, so that they look better. So you realize very quickly, hey, this is not about me, because I know who I am. I know I am a strong, confident, girl boss who's getting paid. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just living my life the best way I know how. And then here comes this person with all the insecurities and they're projecting it on me. So once you realize it's not about you, you're like, you know what? Let them talk. Auntie says I have a muffin top. Well, she could stand to lose like 10 kg. So what are we talking about? So when you realize it's just about them and they're projecting all these insecurities so that people focus on you and not them, it's very easy to navigate these situations.
And ultimately, the more you tend to just stay away from the negativity, the more people actually realize, no, she's actually a very nice person. And whenever now this person comes at you and tries to attack you, guess what? A lot more people will start to stand up for you like, she was just chilling. Like, what's your problem? So a lot more people start to stand beside you, start to stand for you. And they then start to get embarrassed and they stop picking on you altogether. So with kindness, with generosity, with integrity, especially integrity, you will always have an upper hand. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. Ultimately, guard your spirit, guard your space, guard your mind, and you'll be fine.
We do hope we have helped you navigate your families and those very tricky situations, fragile situations when it comes to family. At the end of the day, it's all love, and we hope you are having a fabulous festive season. My name is Turife, and keep having a good time.
Absolutely, and we are here the rest of the week, so do not be dismayed. We will be here with you. So we'll celebrate. Send us your problems. Send us your emotion. We will listen to you. And until tomorrow, same time, same place, my name is Kathomi. Bye.